All right, good morning, guys. It is freezing. It is freezing. I get it. I hear it all the time from our northern viewers. This is your spring weather, but for us, 58 degrees right now. And my body's dumb. It's just tough when it is this cold, man, to know that you're gonna be soaking wet all day. But getting ready to leave here, the dock. It is 5:45, and about an hour and 20-minute ride to the first trap. And I'm gonna bring you along today. It is just me and you. You're my helper, so stick around. Stick around for the whole day. We got a pool. We got 200. So just say if you haven't been following along, we got a total of 204 traps, which is the tags that go on each one. But I've lost like just under 10 this year already, and I've replaced some. But now we're net. We still have now 3 that we're our losses of 3. So we got 201 traps for today. We're gonna go ahead and dim the lights here so I could see, get out of this channel, crank some music, and enjoy a nice slow drive. I say slow because it's pitch black. You can't see anything. So when I'm navigating at night, I go much slower and checking the radar constantly. But head out to Key Largo and bring it along down there. Fingers crossed for a good crab pool. If you remember last time I moved, so it was a 2-day event, and the first day I couldn't record because it was just so rough, but I moved 50 traps. So today, out of the 201, 50 of them are in a new spot, new bottom that I haven't fished yet. So it's always like gambling. You're rolling the dice and hoping that you landed in a good spot. So let's see if we can pull it off today. Let's go. All right, guys, we are out here. Me and you are out here, and I'm already 50 traps in. I got out here a very weird day. I mean, we're just now, the sun, it's 8:30, 8:32. Sun came up at 7 o'clock, but it was dark, just like a very cloudy, weird, like a gloomy day. And I'll tell you, the wind is not as light as they predicted it, right? And neither is the temperature. And I didn't bring the rain jacket today because, it's supposed to be very calm. And so I wouldn't get wet, but I am soaked and I am cold, and the baby has not been feeling good. She's coming down with a cold, and man, I'm starting to feel my whole body is, it's aching. My joints are hurting and I'm freezing. So I am sure that by the end of today, she will have shared the cold with me. But we started off, man, really slow. And then I pulled 10 of the traps of the new ones that I set, and they did phenomenal. So we were able in the first 50 to fill up. I've got a whole bucket full already, which is excellent. But the reality is it really came from these new traps. So I'm hoping that these 10 that I have here will also do pretty good. And I could record it and show you guys. So we're starting off here on trap 1. Whoop, whoop, whoop. With 1 claw. 1 is better than nothing. But yeah, just a cold and very cold, weird day. So hopefully these do pretty good. And then I've spread these out all over the place, when I move the 50. So I do have other traps that are going to be later in the day that I'm hoping will also do well. Because that's the name of this game. When you're moving them around, you don't know where you're going to drop them if it's going to be good. So you have to keep trial and error. And those 10 really helped me out big time. So 1 claw, I mean, heck, if we could get 1 claw per trap, you know, it's not gonna be light the world on fire, but it'd be a pretty decent day. Oh, man. I did, in that line of 10 that I moved, I had 3 traps with double-digit claws. That, you know, and I know I say it in all the videos, but you'll have a few traps, man, that will really save the day. So that was really awesome. Ooh, this tide is completely backwards here. So we're hoping we get a few of those, and you know, and I expect that between now and the end of the day, we will have some like that. Oh, look at this. Now we want to see a bunch of little baby lobsters. But these guys right here, you can see how small they are. They grow up nice and big. Okay, so 2 traps in, and these new ones are not doing well. Here's how the baby would say, oh no. But again, I still am very hopeful that we're gonna continue to hit these patches throughout the day, where we're gonna have, you know, traps that'll have, you know, 6, 7, 8 claws. And it will save the day. What I hope is that these 10 did not land in a bad spot. And so far, 2 traps in, you know, I don't mind if, you know, we get crab and they're too small, or they don't have claws already, because, you know, you're getting the target species. But when you're not even getting a crab, it becomes concerning. This cold weather this is one of those days where it's hard to get up. It's freezing. You're wet. See, here's one, no claws. They're ready to grow back. Man, I'll tell you what, guys, this is the 3rd one already. We'll do a few more, and if we don't see any crab, it could be that these are not in a good spot. I mean, we have, you know, traps that I started with that were pretty good historically, and it's just dead today. But I'll try a couple more, and if I'm not getting any crab, what I'll do is I'll bring you guys back in some other ones. I mean, you know, this is like gambling. There's no way for me to know, you know, what's in the trap. I mean, I have some that do well, and I know it, and I, you know, try to bring the recording on those. And sometimes, you know, they're not always going to catch. So let's see. And it's a good feeling when you can see it coming up and you can see the legs holding on the inside. Okay, here we go. We got one in here. And he's got one good claw. You see, guys, so when you go to measure them, this is the gauge, and you got to put it on that little joint right there, and the claw can't go below the other side. So like if the claw was like this, it would be no good, and obviously this one is very, very good. So, and if you're new and you haven't watched on any of the other videos and you're wondering what we're putting here in the trap, it's pig's feet. Put pig's feet in the trap, and then the little bait cups on the inside have cowhide. And then as a test, I did 100 traps last time with some cat food. I tried that out. It is a little expensive because it comes out to like 73 cents a can. So it is a little expensive, but and now that I think about it, those other traps did have the cat food in it and these did not. But then what I'll do, I keep a log of it and I'll see if it makes a difference, if it's worth it, putting it in there, and then we could keep trying it and adding it on. Alrighty guys, it is 9:35 in the morning, and me and you have already gone through somewhere like 75 traps. I've got, I know that I'm nearing the end here, and this has currently 80 traps in it. Getting to the end here, and man, when I stopped recording, I did have, and that's, you know, it's all one continuous line, if you will. I mean, there's little gaps in the middle where I might run like, you know, 1,000 feet and then keep going, but I did 25 traps over there, and out of 25 traps, almost all of them got nothing. But I had 3 traps over there that caught over 10, and you could see now we're up to 2 buckets. But again, even though, yes, we're doing pretty decent, it's not a good feeling when the majority of them are not catching. And, you know, I'm thankful for it, but obviously as trying to make sure that you're finding the crab, you would like a more even catch, you know? But let's see, I'm telling you, once I finish this line here that has 80, I got another 120 more to go. I got to take some Motrin. I am, every bone in my body, all my joints are achy, and I think I am coming down with whatever the baby has. And I'll tell you, it is not fun to be on a boat and you're not feeling good. Hopefully I can finish the day before this thing really gets me. But it's still pretty windy, not flat calm like it was supposed to be, and it is cold, cold, cold. But I'm making pretty good time, averaging about 25 to 30 traps an hour. And obviously, you know, when you're catching it, you slow down because you have to crack claws. And then when you hit a batch of, you know, 10, 15 that have nothing, you do that pretty quick, you know. But I put the camera back on these because these last ones that I have here, oh boy, they usually do pretty decent. Obviously, one claw is not pretty decent. Damn. Oh, Nelly. Now what we want to see. But this is why it's important if you're doing this, and you know, I got a lot of guys that are doing it recreationally that, you know, have gone to our website. It's pescatarianfishing.com. If you want to book a charter, you can do it through there. And we also have apparel. If you guys want to help out, we would greatly appreciate it. They're very nice shirts, but send me emails through there. They've gone to Instagram to write me. And I would tell you, if you're doing this recreationally, get yourself a little log, and keep track of every trap and where you're catching, the date, so you know the time of year, because it does make a difference. And you don't want to have traps. You know, you're recreational, you got 5 traps. You want to be able to go out and get some crab that you could eat. Not just leave them out there, you go out there and then you don't have anything. So I highly encourage, even if you're doing this recreationally, just write it down. Alrighty, guys, I gotta tell you, when the battery died, I just put the other camera here to finish that segment, but I didn't realize that the audio is hooked up to the camera as the battery died. So we got a new battery, we're fresh, and we should be good to go now. Now here in this line, I've got 8. This is a little test area that I've never put traps before. So I tried it out, I put 8, kind of see how it does. So this is my first time pulling them. Awesome. Okay. So we'll see, but this is kind of what you got to do. You know, move traps around and look for new areas. And again, it, you know, doesn't mean that they're all going to catch, but you want to be able to scout new areas, you know, in search of the crabs. So we will see how these 8 do. First one, not off to a good start. Like I always say, it doesn't look like we're going to win by a shutout. Oh, this guy got clipped by a boat. All right. Guys, I will tell you, Red Bull and the Mochin made me feel a little bit better. I just got to get through from, I'll tell you the time now. I got to get through these traps today. It is 10:53 in the morning, and I am 105 traps in already. Okay, there's a good sign right here. This, not a good sign, but okay, that's what we want to see when you're coming to new areas. Some crab. You know, the bad thing is if they would have nothing in it.
FWC versus custom helicopter. How do you hear 16?
Uh-oh. Customs helicopter calling FWC. That can't be good. That cannot be good. All right. So 2 traps, 2 claws. Not too shabby. Boat's coming in hot close to us. Very close. That is Biscayne National Park Service. That's good that they're patrolling. They saw me here and they wanted to get close. And they could see the markings on the boat. So all the commercial boats in Florida, you have to have your buoy marked on the side of it and your number, you know, your color of the buoy. And also on the roof, so the spotter planes, you know, when they're flying up above, they could tell if you're pulling your own traps. And that's good to see. They got really, really, really close to make sure that I was pulling my own trap. That's good. because unfortunately there's a lot of poaching out here, and I get it. They can't be everywhere at once, and I also understand that the person that's gonna rob, they're trying to be sneaky, you know? They're not gonna be out in the open like we are, just pulling our own traps. Oh boy, oh here we go, guys. Oh yes. So here's the other thing too. I've always told you guys in the videos, it is not so much the quantity, but the quality. And take a look at this. This right here is a colossal claw. And you take a look at the size of this thing, you know, these are worth a lot more money than the smaller ones. So 2, okay. So also if you're getting, you know, big claws, then, you know, it's a lot better when you're getting the big ones. So you got to factor all that in when you're doing this and you're scouting new areas. You know, I just did a line that was 25 traps before this one, and I got a little over 20 claws in it, but the majority of them were big, so really slows down compared to the average that I've been running today, but they're very big claws, so you know, they're worth more money. There's a lot of boats coming out now. Today is, the wind actually has died down a little bit from how it was this morning. And I think that's why we got so many people coming out now to enjoy the day. You know, we're fortunate here to have the water right next to us, so you could get in your, you know, get the boat in the water and you're out here quick. Oh, here we go. Okay, 2 more. So really not lighting the world on fire here like I was hoping. But we'll take some steady eddies right now. Yeah, but I was really hoping that this was gonna be as good as, so in the beginning of the day, remember I told you I had 10 traps, and 3 or 4 of them that caught over double digits. So that really saved me in the beginning, and then I had another 10 that were new, that were horrible. So it's really disappointing when you're moving these and you're landing in spots that are no good. And then you gotta move them again. It's a lot of work to pull them, load them on the boat. I mean, by myself. If I could get it on a weekend that my son is here and we could come out and do it, it's a lot easier. But by myself, it is tough. Oh man, I'm still hoping to get to one of those spots where all the traps are catching. Oh, I think there's a dead guy in here. Yep. Oh no, what happened is this guy lost his shell. He grew bigger. I'll leave him in there. They are extremely vulnerable when they are molting and that they're changing their shell. Predators, I mean, they're soft, they're slow, so they have a better chance of survival inside of that trap. By next week, he should be good to go. And I mean, his claws are too little, but he can be released and he has a lot better chance of survival than releasing him when he's still soft like that. And so what happens is that as they grow, the new shell is growing and it kind of breaks the outside shell. And then the shell underneath it is soft. Takes about, a week and a half, and it'll harden again and they'll be good to go. But his legs, everything is soft. And that's how they get bigger. Guys, I will tell you, I have been jamming out today to my dad's playlist that I made of those old Spanish song, pretty good songs. I have been jamming out to that today. Poor guy, he wanted to come today, but it's just too rough for him today. And it's really not so much that it's so rough, but you can see how this boat is rocking side to side because we keep getting hit with the wind on our side, and that side to side movement for his back is just too much. He can't do it. We have to bring him another day when it's good weather. But that day that he came with me on our last video was unbelievable. I mean, it was like the ocean looked like a lake. Alrighty, time check, 12:09 p.m. 12:09 p.m. and I am somewhere around 135, 140 traps already. And these are the last new ones here. And then everything else, guys, I do not think it's gonna do that great. And if you've been watching the old videos, the last like 70, 80 traps have been just really bad consistently. I moved 50 of them. And then what I wanted to do is obviously pull those and hopefully have some new spots where I can move some traps. And I think when we get back and look at the data, we'll be able to see that we can move some more of those. But the remaining traps, I'm not too hopeful on them. Here we go, this is pretty nice. Those have to be moved as well. So I don't know that we'll get that much in those. Well, hold still, buddy. Yep, you're good. So right now we have really slowed down in our catch. And we really got this bucket here that's way less than half. 2. It's the best drop I've had in the last 2 hours. So it's just crazy. Last year in the area here towards the end, and I say the end because I start from the south and work my way north because of the way that the current flows. So you're going against it, but towards the end, I was killing it last year. And then I really loaded up that area this year, and it hasn't been doing that good. And where we're seeing the most poaching in the traps is in that area. So I started moving them, and once I get through today and I look at the data, I want to try to be able to come back next week and see if I can move, another 20 or 30. Out of all the ones that we moved, this one we just pulled was excellent. I only have 4 here, but that's what I don't have a lot of traps, so I have to drop a little bit and drop a little bit to try to look for areas. So if these end up doing good, I'll extend it both ways, and then make it 10, and then, could wind up with 30, 40 traps here together. Okay, this is promising. All right, and again, guys, look at these claws. This is a jumbo claw. This guy's ready to fight, and we're not going to do that. So this one is a big claw, but you see here how it's missing the bottom right here. He bit something so hard he broke his own claw off, and you can see how it's turning black. It's starting to regenerate, and that'll grow back. But by law, you're supposed to measure from here to the bottom, and because he's missing that bottom piece, we can't take it. So yeah, this looks pretty good here. It's a shame I only have 4, but I have to bring some more here next week. But this is kind of, how we've been doing. I did get, some intel from another fisherman who's a lobster guy. He really helped me out. He's a good buddy of mine. But then, outside of that, it's just trial and error, moving it around. And I would tell you that so far, even though we had 10 that were really, really bad, the move really paid off. Of those 50 that we moved, I pulled another 10 right before these 4, and that I kind of started spreading them out to cover some ground, and caught a bunch of crab in there. Majority of them didn't have claws, but it was 3, 4, 5 crab in each trap. So that's a really good sign. It's just unfortunate that those guys didn't have claws. So that looks like it's going to be another good area as well. Man. So does this, guys. So does this area. Man. This is great. This guy's too small. See, this guy's got a little one growing back. Man. Yeah. Well, it's a shame. I put 4 here. It always works out like that. Where I put 10, 15, these are doing pretty good. So this is, this is what you do. Now next week I'll load and extend this and, on both ends, and then pull it. And then what will happen though, guys, is you're gonna run across, just because you extend it, you might hit a bottom that is just not good for crab. And then you might have some bad ones in the line that then you got to go ahead and come back and move again. But I would say the moves paid off, because where we weren't getting anything. And the day, guys, has turned out to be a beautiful day now. And thankfully, it started to warm up. So it's in the 70s now, which is great. Because this born and raised Florida guy, I can't really do like sub 60. 60 might even be too cold. I would say sub 65. Sub 65 until like the sun comes up. Man. This is where I wish I had 20 traps. Look at this. And so again, here you go. We got some, crab with no claws. And then you got one back there in the corner that might be too small. But if you take a look at every one of these traps, oh shoot. Ha 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 ha, I got my glove. All 4 of these had crab. This guy is feisty. So this is what we want to see. And this guy here might have 1 claw. Get it measured up. Man, yeah. When you get some of these, it makes a big, big difference. So you see here, guys, what I'm talking about. You hit these patches. Now we just had here 23 claws in 4 traps. So when you hit these little spots like that, it turns out to be pretty good. So, man, what a shame I only put 4 here. They say hindsight is 20/20, but that's good. It's good news. I found a little spot here. We wanna keep extending. So far, guys, we got 3 buckets, and this one here is a little bit more than halfway. So I'm gonna keep pulling, and then I'm gonna bring you back at the end, and I'll show you what I caught. All right, fingers crossed. We're looking for to use up the 5th bucket. We want to get to 5. I don't know. It's a long shot. Hail Mary. Hail Mary. All right, guys. We're done. Get the clock out now. It is 2:58 on the dot. It is probably the fastest that I've ever pulled the traps, but look at how smooth the day is. This is a big help when the day is like this and you could run in between the traps and you could go fast. You could see the buoys with your eyesight. You're not getting that constant spray. Just really makes it a lot easier. Really good day to work, and a lot easier on the body and the knees and the back. But I'll tell you, very good finish. We got 5 buckets here. They're not all full to the top, so I would guess that we've got here somewhere between 80 to 100 pounds, because you see I got some gaps in some of these that they're not all the way up to the top. But all in all, an excellent day. I will tell you, the moves that I made last week paid off big time, even though I'll tell you I probably still had 80 traps today at least, maybe more, that didn't catch anything, and there's a lot of consistent ones. So we're gonna look at the data and we'll be back out here next week, and we're gonna load this thing up and keep moving some more traps. If you missed last week's video, I'm gonna link it at the end of this one. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next week.